Mike Moore Media.
I'm talking to Rodney Cates, Director, Rockingham County Emergency Services, our 911 system here in Rockingham County. Rodney, always good to have you on the program. How are you?
Good morning, Mike. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. Well, a lot on the schedule to talk about today, and a very special week coming up next week. Let's start with that.
Yes, next week is Severe Weather Preparedness Week. It runs from March 6th through the 10th. That's a week where everyone nationwide is encouraged to prepare for severe weather, make those plans now, determine how you can stay informed for those severe weather events. And you know, Friday coming up, not specifically for us, but there's a threat of some storms Friday that could move through our area. The western part of the state is in a moderate risk for some severe weather, not impacting us. But, you know, that time frame is upon us. And as we've talked before, Mike, readync.gov is the North Carolina Emergency Management webpage that has a total link on there about preparedness. They talk about the 3 different steps of planning, preparing, and staying informed for severe weather. Some great information on this webpage that can assist citizens statewide in preparing, planning, and staying informed for this severe weather.
You're exactly right. And, yeah, I like to mention that whenever we can. So give us that website again, Rodney.
It's readync.gov, and that links you to the North Carolina Emergency Management webpage. And as a person scrolls down that webpage, they'll see the preparedness. It talks about plan, prepare, and stay informed. And there's a tab for each of those that gives us information on how do we plan, how do we prepare, and then how do we stay informed.
Yeah, that is an excellent resource online for sure. And talking about severe weather, look at what's that storm that's moving across the United States, and those people getting hit with some snows that they've never seen before.
They have, and you know, Mike, I read an article the other day. Through the end of February, 3 of the major weather events that have come across the United States have claimed 41 lives already across the country so far this year. And, you know, today's only March the 1st. So certainly claiming any life is certainly a tragedy. But when you look at 41 lives so far this year because of weather, that certainly prompts all of us to plan, prepare, and stay informed for these types of events.
It certainly does. Yeah, be alert for sure. Well, let's talk about the EMT Academy. Where are we in that, Rodney?
We're getting ready to start our second EMT Academy. We are still currently accepting applications, and we're going to do that through March the 10th. So if anyone who does not have an EMT basic certification who would like to have one and who would like to be paid while they are obtaining that EMT basic certification and then hopefully move on to employment with the county, they're certainly encouraged to apply. Again, they can apply through March the 10th. They can go on the county's webpage and go through NeoGov. They'll see the listing. That listing then links them to NeoGov, of which they apply. The application then goes to the Human Resource Office, and they screen it to make sure that applicants meet the minimum criteria, and then they forward those applications to us, our administrative staff, to review them and schedule people for interviews, which will occur, obviously, after the 10th. When all the applications come in. So it's a great opportunity to receive that EMT basic certification. And as we had talked about earlier with the first academy, we've heard so many people say that they wanted to have this EMT basic certification, but they couldn't leave their current job. They still had to have a source of income. Well, this academy allows people to have that source of income while obtaining this certification, and then again, hopefully moving on to full-time employment with the county. So a great opportunity. Our first academy was very successful. These people are on the road making a difference in people's lives as we speak, and we certainly are looking forward to our second academy coming up.
Oh, that's exciting to just see the success of that first one to start with, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, a lot of these people in April will move on into the EMT Advanced Academy. They're doing the paperwork now. We've been assisting them with some paperwork and some letters of affiliation that they need to have written, and we've certainly done that. So a lot of these academy students that came through our first basic EMT Academy are now moving on to get their EMT Advanced. And following that 4-month program, when they finish their advanced program, then they'll move into the paramedic program. So certainly a career path and career growth. With that career growth comes a better salary each time, more avenues for advancement. So it's very exciting for these young people to be able to fulfill this goal, and certainly the impact that they're making on our citizens within our county, which is very positive.
Oh, that's good when I hear you talk about that impact that they're making. And again, Rockingham County leading the way with that EMT Academy starting last year. So we can still get in on that through March 10th, you said.
That is correct. Through March the 10th, go to the county webpage, pull up the job listings, and it'll show you the EMT trainee position, which is the EMT Academy, and certainly we encourage all that are interested to apply for that.
Okay. Now, you tell me that very important event taking place with the Rockingham County Commissioners meeting Monday night. What's that?
It is Monday night. Our commissioners, and we're very, very appreciative of this, they will do a resolution Monday night reclassifying our telecommunicators as first responders. Though this has no monetary impact for our telecommunicators, what it is, it's support for Senate Bill 1175, which is currently in the Department of Homeland Security Committee for further review. Senate Bill 1175 is the 911 Saves Act, which is actually a bipartisan legislation which is nationwide to reclassify 911 dispatchers from the Office of Administrative Support to protective service occupants. These people, these 911 telecommunicators, are certainly protective service occupations. They are the hub. They are the focal point of the activation of the overall emergency services system. So the role they play is so critically important. It's so vital to everything that people see in the field. When they see the fire trucks or the ambulances, the rescue squads, the police cars, the helicopters landing at wreck scenes or traumatic injury scenes, all of that is the work of a telecommunicator. Mm-hmm. So these people certainly are not administrative support personnel. They are protective service occupants and certainly need to be classified as such. And that's what Senate Bill 1175 is striving to do. So what was asked of all states and municipalities and counties was to support a resolution on the local level, which then gave further support at the national level for the Senate bill that is now in the Homeland Security Department Committee for further review.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That is good news for our first responders, isn't it?
It is. It recognizes them for the importance that they have in the emergency services system. Again, these assets that people see every day in their travels, they don't roll without the notification of 911. Mm-hmm. And if 911 doesn't process that call properly and dispatch those proper resources, then it's not a good service for the person who is needing the 911 service. So we're very, very proud of our 911 telecommunicators. They do an outstanding job, and nationwide telecommunicators do. It's a massively stressful job, and Mike, I know you spent some time in our 911 center, and you certainly can relate to the stress level and the skill level that is mandated by a 911 telecommunicator position.
That's exactly right. Highly skilled and trained. And it all starts right there, like you said, with 911 and dispatch and those telecommunicators. Let's talk about, I'm looking ahead here, this Friday, first Friday in March, is National Employee Appreciation Day. So that kind of brings us right back to your people there. Let's talk about the 911 Center here in Rockingham County and the people that man that. How many people needed on a daily, regular basis?
Our goal is to man our center with 8 people on day shift, 6 people on night shift. The 911 field right now is no different than anything else in public safety. We have some vacancies, and we're certainly recruiting for those positions. It takes 5 people as a minimum to operate our 911 center on a daily basis. That is a very, very base minimum. And even operating with 5 people, our administrative staff, which are 3 of us that are out here, we're all certified telecommunicators, and should a critical event happen or our services are needed in there, we make up that 8-man team inside of the 911 center. So 8 is optimal. Staffing doesn't always allow us to do that, but that's where we need to be at all times.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thanks to everyone involved in 911 and their excellent work. And some changes there at the top, I hear, at the 911 Command Center.
Yeah, Jason Wood, back last year, or actually with the last year's budget, he was named the 911 director. I actually played a dual role as 911 director and emergency services director, but Jason, through some training and some further experience, was certainly ready to take over the helm of 911. So Jason Wood is now he actually now serves a dual role as the database manager and the 911 director, and I now just oversee all of emergency services. So certainly they're still in great hands. Jason is certainly well equipped and well trained to fulfill that role, and has been doing a great job at it.
Okay, well, thanks to Jason and everyone else. Yeah, we kind of saw some of the work there in the working together county-wide and even outside of the county with that spray mill, cotton mill fire too, didn't we?
We did. We saw, again, the collaboration of all efforts throughout the county. Again, that's spawned by the 911 team, and the 911 requesting those resources and calling those counties, and that came in from outside, even the agencies in Virginia that came down to support that. Backfilling these fire departments when all of their apparatus were in Eden fighting the fire, backfilling those stations with other available stations so that there was fire coverage across the county. Again, great collaboration by the fire departments, the rescue squads, EMS, law enforcement. But again, that collaboration and that logistical component of that comes from the 911 operation.
Mm-hmm. All started right there at 911. Yeah. Also, still needing volunteer firefighters countywide and nationwide, aren't we?
We do. Nationwide, certainly countywide, which impacts us. Volunteerism is down tremendously, and it has been for quite some time. But again, Mike, we've talked about this before. You can't put a monetary amount on the feeling you have when you're making a positive impact within your community, saving lives, saving property, making that positive impact. So we certainly encourage people to come out and contact their local fire departments, their local rescue squads. These are all volunteer operations, and they need your assistance. There is a job for everybody. It matters not if you're certified, not certified. You feel like you have had your day in this field. There is a job for everybody, and these fire departments and these chiefs and these rescue squads can find a job and a place that everybody can fit in. So certainly talent is needed and skill is needed, but warm bodies that can hand out bottles of water or write down and be a scribe at a scene of exactly what's going on. These are all critical positions that are needed.
There's a role for you, as you said. Well said indeed. Thank you for this outstanding report, as always. I appreciate it, Rodney Cates.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you and your team. We'll talk again next month.
All righty. Take care, Mike.
You too, sir. Bye. Rodney Cates, Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, and hats off to our 911 telecommunicators and everyone involved there on the front line for their good work. Let me again remind you about readync.gov. I'm on that site right now. Plan, prepare, stay informed. That is just a great resource online, readync.gov. And for more information, you can go to Facebook, Rockingham County Emergency Services.